Well, good morning. I'm Wright, Keller Williams Realty, and what is going on in the real estate market for the last week of January? Where are interest rates? Where are home prices? What are all the new information about the real estate market now that we have a new president who is out there signing a flurry of executive orders? We'll go over that and much more. Stay tuned. So, we are in the last week of January already. Can you believe it? January 2021. And the real estate market is still, I know I sound like a broken record, it's still hot. So, when we look at some of the numbers, a recent report shows a surge in Southern California home sales and prices last month in December compared to December 2019's numbers. Continuing a huge boom in the real estate market for those people who want to sell. According to a report that came out Friday by DQ News, the median home sales price in the region rose by 10.1% from December 2019. Crazy numbers. Housing experts say the upswing, largely due to people who are basically looking to upsize because, guess what? Businesses shut down, schools out, everybody's at home and they need more room. Now take a look at some of the local numbers here as I pull these up. When you're looking at the median sale price of existing single family homes, if you look at the numbers on this graph, Los Angeles saw a 10.6% increase year over year. Orange County, we were up 13.1% year over year in sales price. Riverside up 16.3%, and San Bernardino 18.3% year over year change. That's amazing. In fact, I have a home coming on the market in Colton, and in an area in Colton that 3-bedroom. It's going to be around the 370 range, 360 range. I mean, you can still buy a home in Southern California for under $400,000. Also, going back to another graph that we see, if you look at lower right-hand corner where the supply continued to drop as sales remain strong, if you look at Southern California, active listings was down 50.5%. 50.5%. So that's the reason why we're seeing home prices going up, because there's nothing for sale. All my buyers that are looking for homes right now, it is very common to be one of maybe 10 to 20 offers. There are some houses out there, if they're priced right, they're getting 30, 40 offers from buyers who are well qualified. Now, where are all these buyers coming from? That's because interest rates are still stupid low, as I called them last video. That's right, they're still stupid low. In fact, you can still get an interest rate below 3%. That is crazy. That is like the percentage rate on the car I bought last time. I think I had a 3.9%, and now they're under 3% for a house. That means as a buyer, your buying power is very strong. Money is very cheap. So we're looking at CoreLogic. CoreLogic, an economist, Selma H.E.L.P. for CoreLogic, told the L.A. Times that the market continues to be, quote, a very strong market, end quote. And then the real estate consulting for John Burns forecasted a robust future for home sales in SoCal markets this year, predicting price increases, not as good as they were in 2020, but still very, very good. 7 to 10% price increases for next year. So if you're looking to sell, it's a good time right now because you've got a lot of buyers out there looking because of interest rates being so low. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the market now that we have a new presidential administration in office. So we don't know where things are going. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But if you're looking to buy, interest rates are low. If you're looking to sell, your home prices are up. And they're still expecting to go up, not as much as last year, but a little bit this year. So it's a win-win situation for buyers and sellers. Now, when it comes to the economy, like I just said, when it comes to the economy, our lawmakers in California, legislators are expected to extend California's eviction moratorium to the end of June this year. This just came out on the 25th, on Monday. They're taking our tax dollars to offer landlords an incentive to forgive back rent using an extra $2.6 billion that the state received from the federal government just recently. Assembly Bill SB 91, Monday morning, they introduced that bill, and it means that lawmakers can vote on it today. Today's Thursday. They could be voting on it as early as today. The original California eviction moratorium ends January 31st, so they've got to hurry up and get this one in place before it ends. A new deal needs to be in place by the 31st. Governor Gavin Newsom said, quote, "We have a deal," end quote. He also went on to say, quote, "The whole idea is to leverage the dollars they receive from the federal government to pay back rent and get about 20% forgiven." Now, what does that mean? Well, right now there's a federal eviction moratorium that runs until the end of March, but California's deal allowed those who have paid 25% of their rent during the pandemic to avoid eviction and owe the back rent as civil debt, meaning you send to collections if you don't pay it. So it's going to be civil debt. So California, using the $2.6 billion in federal relief money, would pay landlords, but there's a caveat. They're only going to pay landlords 80% of unpaid back rent, and only if landlords agree to forgive the remaining 20% in back rent and agree not to pursue evictions. Now, that's going to be a little bit difficult if you're a mom and pop landlord and you have a house that you have a renter in, that renter's not making payments, or at least they're paying the 25% of your rent. Well, you still have a house payment to make. And that's going to be problematic. If that 80% in back rent doesn't cover your mortgage payment, you're still in dire straits as a landlord. So that's going to be a really, really challenging time for landlords. Now, Mitch Rochelle, the founding partner of Macro Trends Advisors, they're a real estate investment and a market strategy firm. Mitch Rochelle stated that in December, reports show that 94% of apartment dwellers are paying their rent by the end of the month, and suggested that the small mom and pop landlords are the ones that are being hurt the most. In fact, the mom and pop renters that are renting houses to people, that's the bulk of a lot of the renters out there that are not paying their rent and where those landlords are facing dire straits. You see, the landlords still have to pay their mortgage. The landlord still has to pay the insurance. They still have to pay the property taxes. There's no forgiveness for that. Most rentals are mom and pop rentals, and there's no real relief for the landlords currently, said Rochelle. So the question is, will there be a foreclosure market looming in the near future because of all this? Could possibly be. Now, if you're a landlord and you're thinking, wow, this is really hurting, I don't want to be a landlord anymore, and you want to sell that house, get with me. We can talk about that, and we can set up a plan for you. Or maybe you're looking to move out of state because of, you're done with California. I get it. I have a lot of clients that are moving out of California. If that's you, contact me. In fact, you can look at this video here that I actually did this a little bit while back, but it's still apropos for today. Just click that. Former Shell oil president, John Hofmeister, he stated on Monday that President Biden's Keystone cancellation, quote, makes no sense for the future good of the American people, warning that, quote, we will pay a price for that, end quote. John Hofmeister went on to say, quote, we're not going to get rid of fossil fuels in a 4-year term or an 8-year term of an administration. It's just not going to happen. Hofmeister stressed, quote, what will happen is that the price of oil will go up and the production of U.S. oil will go down, end quote. So what we're seeing here right now is our U.S. energy independence is on the way out. We just became independent, and now we're losing our independence as we're starting to help Russia, and we're going to help the Middle East, and we're going to help the OPEC countries. The American people, though, cannot shift quickly enough to electric vehicles because there's just not enough electric vehicles. I'll tell you, California came down and says you gotta have electric vehicles pretty soon. It's not going to happen easily because there's just not enough. And the problem is we still need the petroleum industry in order to make the lithium batteries, in order to do pharmaceuticals and plastics and clothing and a lot of agriculture. They all depend on the petroleum industry. So it's going to be interesting where we're going to head from now on. We've already seen thousands of jobs be inked out with the sign of a pin from the Keystone Pipeline. And so now we're going to have trucks and trains delivering oil, which is going to create more havoc on the climate rather than the oil flowing through the pipeline. And we're losing jobs as well. So it's a scary time. It is a scary time. Speaking of scary times, let's move on to something that's near and dear to my heart. The National Association of Realtors. You know, the National Association of Realtors, N.A.R. I'm a member of them. I pay my dues. I'm a member of the California Association of Realtors. I pay my dues to them. I'm a member of the local Board of Realtors. I pay my dues to them. And because I pay my dues, I can say I'm a realtor. Not just a real estate agent or a real estate consultant. I am an actual realtor because I have to abide by a certain code of ethics. I have to abide by the association rules. Well, the N.A.R. back in November, this last November, passed a very controversial change to its professional standards. They did it to crack down on racist and discriminatory practices by their realtors and discriminatory speech and behavior. N.A.R.'s 959-member board of directors approved changes that apply N.A.R.'s Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice to all of a realtor's activities, not just real estate activities. Let me repeat that. Not just real estate activities, all of a realtor's activities. Interesting. Standard of Practice number 10-5 reads as follows. I'm going to quote it for you. It states, quote, "Realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs based upon race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity." End quote. Okay, I agree with all that. But my question is, who's going to decide what is hate speech? And who's going to be policing the policers of the N.A.R.? It's a scary time. I will tell you, I've already been canceled by YouTube once. During the pandemic, since we couldn't meet in person, I was actually recording my Sunday school lessons for my kids and posting it on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. YouTube deleted, they took down my video lesson, just one of them. They took down one of my video lessons and stated that I violated the community guidelines. I looked at the video, I looked at the guidelines, I couldn't understand what they meant, so I quickly reposted that video. The difference is I didn't mark it for kids, and YouTube let it go out. So what I assume is YouTube is saying, no, we don't want you teaching good things to kids. We don't want kids to hear about Jesus. We don't want you instructing our kids of the world to be good people. And I was deleted. If you want to see the video that they actually deleted and make a determination for yourself, and maybe N.A.R., if you want to take a look at it too, and maybe if I'm spouting any hate speech in there, you can slap me on the wrist. You can actually click right here and see the video that they deleted. And tell me down in the comments, let me know, what do you think about it? N.A.R. President Vince Malta stated, quote, "I applaud," now remember, this is the president of the National Association of Realtors. He said, quote, "I applaud N.A.R.'s board of directors and our professional standards committee for their efforts to raise the bar on the professional and private speech of America's 1.4 million realtors," end quote. Did you get that one part? Raise the bar on private speech. Now, does that mean when I'm in my closet all by myself talking? Are they listening? It's a scary time, folks. So let's move on to some more scary stuff. The last thing I have to say today is, don't fall for the scam. Now, I get phone calls all the time on my phone, constantly. Telemarketers, scammers. Have you seen that spam alert? You know, you get a phone call and it says, possible spam, spam risk. I get it all the time on my phone. Well, I also got a text message, and the text message was from Netflix, promising me a whole year of Netflix for free because of the pandemic. Oh, so wonderful. The Better Business Bureau warns of that free Netflix scam. In fact, the Better Business Bureau is warning of a text message scam targeting the Netflix user. Does a year of free Netflix sound good? Sure it does, but it's not real. So don't fall for it. The BBB also says there's some tips you can have for keeping away from those scams. You know, I tell everybody in my family all the time, if you get an email and there's a link in the email, don't click on the email link. If you get a text message and there's a link, don't click on the link. Go to the source. That's tip number one. Go to the source. If you get a text message from Netflix saying you get a free year because we're so nice, don't click that link. Go to Netflix.com and check it out yourself. Also, don't believe every text you get. That's tip number two. Don't believe every text message you get. Same thing with emails. There are a lot of scammers out there. A lot of people try to look like someone else when they're calling, texting, or emailing you. And here's an important one the BBB says. Ignore instructions to text back, stop, or no, or go away. Don't text them back. Because even if you realize the message is a scam, the BBB states, do not text back for any reason. Scammers may want you to reply in order to verify that your phone number is active. That way, they know that phone number is good. So instead, just block the number so you will not receive messages from it in the future. That's what I do. I have a ton of telemarketers and spammers and scammers that I continually have to block. It's scary even answering my phone when the phone rings anymore, if it's someone I don't recognize. Well, I hope this information helps. I hope you are excited about 2021. I forgot to tell you, we're open. That's right. Governor Newsom just went out and said, we're open. We can open up. So we should be getting back to work. We should be getting back to regularity very quickly. Eating out in restaurants. Apparently COVID-19 is Governor Newsom said, you know, it's looking better. I didn't realize that was so fast. Just in the past couple days. It must be a miracle, but we're opening up. So that's amazing. And you know what that means? If you're looking to sell your house, you might want to do it now before everybody else jumps on the bandwagon and starts listing their property. Because if you list your house today where there's no competition, guess what? You get all the buyers. But if you wait until everybody else opens up and starts deciding to put their house on the market, then you've got a lot of competition and the market's going to slow down a little bit. So if you're looking to sell your house, give me a call, give me a text, shoot me an email, comment below, let me know, and I will tell you all you need to know about selling your house, because I'm here to help. I'm Wright. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to show me some love by liking it, sharing it, commenting good thoughts to me down below. If you're watching this on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. Like it, share it to your friends who might be thinking about buying or selling. Hope this information is good for you. I will see you in the next video. Until then, I'm Wright, your SoCal Realtor, and I'm looking out for you.